Chapter 16. Barcelona. The Ramblers, artery of the city, with its stalls selling flowers, selling birds in cages, its lottery sellers, blind men tapping their sticks, calling out numbers with the promise of wealth, mañana. The Ramblers, with its flowing crowd, its beseeching beggars, its hawkers selling matches and shoelaces and soap, its entertainers, musicians, acrobats, fire-eaters, its thieves mingling with the crowd. One bolts out and dives down an alley, shouting, confusion, police arrive, too late, far too late, and running along the entire length of this teeming thoroughfare, cafes with marble tables spill out onto the pavements with their tourists and their dandies and their prostitutes. There's nowhere in the world like the Ramblers, and if you linger a while, leaning against the railings of the metro station, you'll see the whole world pass along it. Just arrived, I'm flat broke. I lack the means for a jug of wine. I'm going to have to change this state of affairs. I find a park which has a few flowers, and I set to work making bouquets. I'll have no problem persuading the young couples out for an evening stroll to buy my product. But I'm mistaken. Not the slightest interest shown, and in fury I fling the flowers which have drooped and wilted into the gutter. There's nothing for it but to go begging. This works, and now I have enough for some wine. I venture into the warren of alleys that lead off the Ramblers. Here's the world of Jean Genet and his sinister underworld. I can just see cruel-hearted Stilitano with his one-gloved arm leaning at the bar of one of these dim bodegas, from which the fumes of alcohol and cigarette smoke belch forth. Low-looking characters, drunks, transvestites, and drugged-looking fiends slouch at the counter. Jean, sad-looking, sits at a table, a vial of some concoction or other before him, and a heart breaking for the savage attentions of Stilitano. However hard you look, you can't see the stars from down here. Even though it's always night, nothing can reach down into these depths. The only stars are from the jukeboxes, which are flashing, or the glint of a knife or of a needle. You watch your P's and Q's in the labyrinth of Barcelona. I'm tipping back vino at one or two pesetas of ale, when an extremely incongruous-looking fellow wanders in from the street. I'm surprised that he's got this far without having been robbed. With his lankiness, his long blonde hair, his beard and spectacles, he looks like a student from some northern realm. He is a student from a northern realm. Coming straight up to me, a look of relief on his face at seeing another foreigner, he asked me if I know of somewhere to sleep, somewhere that's safe. He's been sleeping in the park and has already had his money taken. He's penniless now. I'll be sleeping on the beach. There are thieves there, and rats. Can you show me where the beach is? He asked. Well, yes, but I won't be going there until late. Then I will stay with you here. Okay, if you want. His name's Bert. He hails from Enschede in the east of Holland. Having finished his studies, computer technology, Christ, whatever next, he's now qualified as a fully-fledged computer operator. Or was that what do they call it? Not an operator, can't think of it. Well, you know what I mean. And I'm doomed to spend the rest of the evening with him. well, yeah, for a no, have a drink. I realise, by the way, he's just standing there rather awkwardly. I was searching for the word. He's not a computer operator. Uh, uh, um, 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 I've lost it again. Um, what are they called? People that sort of do programs and things like that. Um, a programmer. That's what it is. Yeah. Okay, anyway, sorry for that little diversion there. It was the appearance of Bert that has rather thrown me off kilter. Anyway, here he is. Have a drink, I say to him. I realise by the way he's just standing there rather awkwardly that he probably hasn't two brass pesetas to rub together. Oh, thank you, he brightens up. We clink vials and drink. Do you not get stolen from? He asked me. I have been stolen from quite a few times in the past, but I'm a little more wily now. What is wily? He asked. Clued up. Glued up? He looks astonished. No, no, I laugh. Not glued up. Clued up. It means clever, wise, a bit more streetwise, if you see what I mean. Ah, I'm still not very clever, but I'm cleverer than I used to be. We laugh. I don't think he quite gets what I'm talking about. Have another drink. I'm beginning to enjoy his company. His constant look of surprise endears him to me. Glad of the wine, he's relaxing, beginning to look less lost than when he stepped over the threshold, less bewildered. Where'd you put the money whilst you slept? I asked him. Under my head, under my pillow. Uh, your head can slip to one side of a pillow whilst you sleep. Whilst you sleep, your body leads a life of its own. A thief will just watch and wait. I recount an incident that had happened to me once in Rimini, in Italy. I had no money at the time, so I didn't have to hide anything but my passport, which I had put in a plastic bag and buried in the sand underneath me. Suddenly, in the dead of night, I was awoken by a movement beneath my pillow. What are you doing? I said. Kifai! Alarmed. I said, alarmed, to a fellow bending over me, his hand rifling about under my pillow. Niente, nothing. Listen, if you're looking for money, I don't have any, okay? Okay, he said. Okay. He said, backing away into the shadows. I fell asleep, only to be awoken again by the hand worming its way underneath my pillow, tugging at something. Oi! I shouted, springing up and facing him in the darkness. I told you I have no money. No soldi, niente. What? And then he had the face to ask me, well, what's that? What is this? Que esta? Que esta aquí? Or whatever he said in Italian. What's what? Quest, this. Now he is pulling out the thing which he'd been trying to get at in order to show me. That, I laughed, that's my belt. It was a leather belt buckle that must have felt like a wallet to him. Una cintura. He seemed almost a little embarrassed. You see, I told you, I have no soldi. I have no money. I'm a poor man. Scusi, he said, his tone apologetic now. I won't bother you again, amico. And I tell you, my friend, I tell my friend, who's also robbing on the beach tonight, to leave you in peace. Oh, thank you, I said. Grazie. Then we both laughed hard, and shaking hands, bade each other good night. Buonanotte, amico, buonanotte. That's a funny story, says Bert, looking astonished. I didn't even see the thief running away in the park last night. Was it a lot of money he got away with? I asked him. Phew, I gasped upon him telling me. Then why on earth were you sleeping in the park and not in the pension? To save money. Well, we better have another drink. I turned to the barman. Dos vasos de vino, por favor. And now, Bert, I announced, draining my glass in one tip, I'm broke. Broke? He looks at me alarmed. No, I laughed. It doesn't mean I'm broken, not of one piece. It's an expression. It means to have no money. Ah, so you have no money too? Momentarily, yes, but I will make some more. You are money-making here? Yes, I'm money-making on the streets. Begging. Begging? Bert blurts out, flabbergasted. Yes. I stoop down, pick up my rucksack and sling it over my shoulder. And so I have to go. Could I come with you? Bert's all eagerness. Watch you, see how you do it? Well, if you like. And so we head towards the Ramblers, and I tell him how this particular form of money-making is done. And it turns out? You mean, does it work? Yes, watch. A likely-looking fellow is heading towards us, brightly dressed, a man of about 60, bald-headed, jovial-looking. I take the plunge. Por favor, señor. ¿Tiene un poco de moneda para comer? Tengo hambre. He looks at me, smiling amiably, and reaching into his pocket, hands me a 100 peseta note. Muchas gracias. 100 pesetas is a fair bit of money. I glimpse the look of astonishment on my new friend's face. You're together? The man asked me, pointing at Bert, who's a step or two away. Yes, we're friends. Come along then, both of you. I'll take you to a restaurant. You see, it works, I say gleefully to Bert as we stumble out of the restaurant full of food and wine, having bidden farewell with warm thanks to our benefactor. Bert's more than just a little impressed. He's dumbfounded. I'm glad that he's witnessed begging at its best. I'm going to try it tomorrow, he announces as we head towards the rat and thief-infested beach to sleep. Now, the beach of Barcelona must be one of the filthiest in the world. As you swim in its putrid water, you're likely to collide with lumps of excrement, used contraceptives, blobs of oil, plastic bags which wrap themselves around you like octopuses. Nevertheless, upon arising in the morning, Bert and I religiously take a bath in the quagmire to freshen ourselves after the nights of heavy drinking in town. Besides, it's the only way we can have an all-over wash. On the way to the Ramblers each morning, we pass a wrought iron fountain with a handle, which one pumps whilst the other washes his face and teeth and hair. And so by the time we arrive at the Ramblers and sit ourselves at a cafe in the Plaza Real for a coffee, we're fresh as daisies. Bert's taken to panhandling with an ease and expertise which amazes me. We do a morning swoop on the Ramblers, assemble the requisite amount for lunch, and retire to a tavern, which lies in the thick of the labyrinth, for luncheon. The establishment's called Los Gallegos and is run